Bonus module, Flash. Now, Flash can be one of the scarier topics for photographers, especially if we call ourselves natural light photographers. Sometimes we do use it as a crutch in order to not pull out our flash. And I am guilty of this. When I first started out, I was definitely not comfortable using my flash. I didn't really know what it was, how to use it, how to modify it, and I absolutely didn't know how to make it look like my style, how I needed it to. So, over the years, I have developed a great system for making flash look really natural and fitting my style, and this is my setup that I use. So, the equipment that I decided to utilize for this is a flash stand, an off camera flash, a 33-inch shoot through umbrella, a wireless or built in transmitter receiver system. So, I utilize the Yongnuo 560 IV flash systems. They're really affordable on Amazon and they have a built in transmitter receiver so you don't have to use the extra pieces on your hot shoe to transmit and receive to each of your flashes. It's just really convenient and it cuts down on the amount of things you need to carry in your bag. Also, this shoot through umbrella is amazing. I use this for family formals. If it's raining and we have to do bridal portraits inside, it's great, it's compact, and it's perfect for receptions as well. So you can get amazing flash images, really natural light looking images with your flash and not be in people's faces, which I love. So my setup for this is typically I will place my umbrella on my flash stand with my second flash and I put it by the DJ stand if you're at a wedding. So usually the DJ stand is filled up with lights and all other equipment, so you're not really going to be distracting by having your umbrella set up right there. And also, when people are watching the bride and groom dance, usually the DJ is not directly behind them, and everyone's attention is focused towards the head table and the bride and groom on the dance floor. So it's just a really nice out of the way place to put your flash and your flash stand. So stand next to either side of the umbrella and shoot only from those angles. I always like to use a 45-degree angle because it's really soft light. And you can also go as far as a 90-degree angle, which is a little bit more dramatic. It just really depends on the look that you're trying to achieve. So if you want examples of those, there's a lot of videos on YouTube on setting up your flash at a 45 and a 90, and you can kind of see the difference. Settings. So, if I could ask for one thing when I was starting out, is someone to just tell me what settings they used because I could spend hours looking through videos and get so many different opinions. I just wanted to know a baseline of what someone's using in their camera, and then I can go from there and experiment. So, these are the settings that I use for Flash at receptions and in other scenarios. It's kind of my baseline, adjust it as needed. You're going to have to do a couple test shots just to pinpoint exactly what you need in that situation. But high ISO, do not be afraid of ISO in this setting because you're going to be counteracting the grain that the ISO is causing with your flash light source. So don't worry about pushing your camera higher and higher for beautiful flash images. So typically try and start out around 3200. You can lower that or raise that depending on your certain situation after you take your test shots, but it's just a good baseline to start at. So high ISO of 3200 and a medium flash power of 1 over 32 is just a great place to start. Now, if you don't know how to change your flash power, that is a different tutorial. Look those up online for your specific flash that you're using, and it will show you how to make all of the settings, put all the groups in, and do the transmitter and receiver so you have a successful system. Low aperture. 1.8 to 3.0 is really a sweet spot. I'm thinking of this in terms of reception lighting. So, this is what I like to use. I push my lens as wide open as it can possibly go for receptions. Not only does that bring a lot of light in, gives you a really natural light, really awesome flash, but it also creates that shallow depth of field that is really cool at receptions, especially for dancing photos. Now, if you're using it for speeches and things like that, which we all do, Make sure that you have it at a high enough aperture that you're going to get everyone in focus. So that's when I like to bump it up to a 3.0, is for toasts, speeches, important moments like that. So some tips are: start with the ISO of 3200 at darker receptions. Set your f-stop to 3.0, just to kind of gauge the room and the lighting, and set your power to 1 over 32. Take a photo. If the subject's face are exposed properly and the background has some glowy light, congratulations, you've done it right. If the faces are overexposed, try lowering the flash power a little bit. If they're underexposed, there's some weird coloring going on, up your flash power. So just kind of use these tips as a baseline and then adjust accordingly. When to use flash. So typically, I don't like to bring out my flash a whole lot in any scenario unless I absolutely have to. So in dark getting ready rooms, I do bring it out. Sometimes you don't luck out with really beautiful windows or really gorgeous light, and rooms with no windows and low tungsten light or small spaces are perfect places to break out your flash. And this system, like I said, is really compact. It's not going to be in anyone's way. You can tuck it in a corner and utilize it for what you need. Next is post ceremony photos and receptions. So, entrances, family formals in churches, first dances, speeches, bouquet, and garter toss are all great places to break out your flash, especially if you're shooting church weddings. This is really necessary because a lot of the churches and older churches have almost a spotlight effect up at the altar, which is where most of your clients are going to want to do their family formals, and you really need a flash to counteract that and bring more light to their faces. Aside from that, I do use a bounce flash for open dancing, so you're not tied to your 45 or 90-degree angle. You can kind of break away from that, turn off that flash if you want to altogether, or have it on a group so you can utilize it here and there. But I do like to use strictly bounce flash for open dancing. Congratulations! You have completed the Simply Successful Photography course. I hope that you feel you gained a lot of useful information and you can start utilizing everything you learned in your business today. I cannot wait to see where you go from here, and I think you're going to be on a really great track for success. Now that you've completed the course, I would love for you to hop on over and join the Facebook group. It's a really awesome group where you can ask additional questions, get feedback, learn new skills, and build genuine connections with other photographers that share your goals.